During House Transportation Committee hearing, the Federation of Jeepney Operators and Drivers, or FEDJADAP, complained about the rigorous process involved in claiming assistance from regulators. They added the subsidy should directly benefit drivers, not just operators. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board says it is already in consultation with Land Bank of the Philippines in order to make the claims for benefits easier, especially for drivers.
Hindi daw po talaga sila nakukuha. Ang katanungan ko po nga sa kanila, talagang yung mga driver, hindi naman po talaga sila makukuha. Yung beneficiary po niyan, yung driver. Pero yung tanging makakakuha po nito, yung mga operator, which is lahat po ng mga existing requirements na hinahanap po ng ating gobyerno ay manggagaling po sa operator.
Consistent with the law, we have implemented a program whereby klarong-klaro po doon na yung beneficiary ay yung qualified legitimate franchise holder. So even on our part, when we devise the implementation plan, hindi na namin pinagtatalunan patungkol dito. Kaya we have to find a way na yung concern ng lahat ng mga transport group dito at hindi lang sa Metro Manila at buong bansa na aabot yung subsidiya doon sa bibili ng krudo.
Land Bank says as of Saturday, around 87,500 GP drivers have received the cash aid. Over 377,000 public transport drivers are set to benefit from the program. More wage hike petitions are expected in the coming days amid soaring prices of fuel and basic commodities. The Labor Department says 10 petitions filed in 6 different regions are now under review, and granting them will take time. Our Tristan Nadalo reports.
The Labor Department appeals for patience and understanding as they review petitions to increase the prevailing minimum wage in the country.
So kailangang maingat na maingat sila dyan. At kapag ka nag-issue na ng wage order, sabihin lahat susunod doon. So importante na masunod yung proseso.
Regional Wage Board directors recently met to discuss the overall socio-economic situation in the country and to urgently look into the petitions.
Napaka-challenging nung situation natin ngayon because of the pandemic. Of course, we understand the position of our workers. We also understand the position of the employers. And of course, yung mga kasama natin sa board at saka sa commission, ang NEDA, alam din natin yung kanilang concern about the minimum wage and the BSP and the DOF.
The needs of workers and their families, capacity to pay of employers, comparable wages and income, and requirements of economic and social development are some of the factors considered in adjusting the minimum wage. There are 2 ways on how a wage increase may happen.
Yung una, by virtue of a petition for wage increase. Pangalawa naman is motu proprio by the board. The board see compelling reason to already initiate a public hearing, then they can do so under the law.
It will take at least 45 days to decide on the petitions filed in 6 regions. Some 3.6 million minimum wage earners will benefit should the petitions get the nod. Some 6.8 million above minimum wage earners also stand to gain from the wage adjustments. Labor Group Trade Union Congress of the Philippines has also filed a petition on Monday for a 430 peso increase in minimum wage in Central Visayas, particularly in Cebu, Bohol, and Siquijor. The Labor Department adds the petition should be carefully reviewed in order to avoid potential long-term impact, including loss of employment. Tristan Nadalo, CNN Philippines.
TUCP also planning to file a wage hike petition in Central Luzon, Northern Mindanao, Calabarzon, Davao region, and the Zamboanga Peninsula. Another labor group filing a wage increase petition in Central Visayas, the Alsa Contractual Cebu, also seeking an increase ranging from 346 to 399 pesos for Central Visayas, depending on the industry and classification of the town and city. If granted, this will make the minimum wage for the entire region 750 pesos daily. Ukraine rejects terms set by Russia to give up the besieged city of Mariupol on day 26 of the war. The port city, home to around 450,000 people, has been under constant attack since earlier this month. While the Russian ultimatum offered safe evacuation for Ukrainians who will choose to surrender, there is no guarantee for those staying in Mariupol. World leaders have repeatedly accused Russia of targeting civilians. Well, back here at home, a former top diplomat says the Philippines must weigh the trade sanctions against Russia. But for Filipino businessmen, there is no need to join the bandwagon of allies that punish Moscow for its invasion of Ukraine. Our senior correspondent Lois Calderon reports.
The tie that binds the Philippines and Russia is as old as the post-war era. 46 years. The two are connected in the belly by food. Federico Macaranas was Manila's number 2 diplomat when the world witnessed the tail end of the U.S.-Russia Cold War. Macaranas signed a Memorandum of Understanding for Technology Exchange in 1991, shortly after the USSR was dismantled and became the Russian Federation that we know today, without Ukraine.
For example, tropical fruits, they love our juices because it is difficult to get them at lower prices in that part of the world. And of course, we also had to buy wheat from them, which is a staple for our bread industry.
The Philippines imports or buys more from Russia than it sells. Wheat, coal, and steel bars. So when it's food and energy that bind the two nations, that's hard to sever, especially because cutting supply could jack up consumer prices. So Filipino businesses disagree with punishing Moscow with economic sanctions.
The volume that we do will not, it's very small, and the sanction will not mean too much with Russia.
Among your members, do they actually have relations, trade relations with Russia, or some Russian Russians have interests or stakes in some Philippine companies?
I would like, I believe so, like steel bars and coal briquette. I would think that there are companies importing this material from Russia. And for a while, some would like to export banana to Russia.
But for diplomat Macaranas, who's now an economist at the Asian Institute of Management, the Philippines cannot avoid joining the bandwagon of nations that boycott Russia. Already, Manila has voted yes to a United Nations resolution condemning Moscow's invasion of Ukraine.
Kasi as a small nation, we survive with the kind of nations that we ally with. The general tenor is the common good of his allies may also be the one that dictate our common good.
There are other contracts with Moscow, but Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana earlier said Manila will not drop a $12 billion deal to buy 17 helicopters from Russia.
What are the safety records of their helicopters?
Sanctions have replaced warfare in the hope that Vladimir Putin would change course. But to sanction or not to sanction, the consequences are dreadful. It's a tough balancing act, which is why in war, there are no winners. Lois Calderon, CNN, Philippines.
A developing story at this hour, a Chinese plane with 132 people on board, including 9 crew members, crashed in southern China this afternoon. Beijing is reporting that Boeing 737 jetliner crashed in mountains in the Guangxi region, causing a fire on site. Authorities are determining the number of deaths while a rescue team has been deployed to the scene. The China Eastern Airlines flight from Kunming to Guangzhou went missing earlier today. Again, this is a developing story. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines. When we return, following accusations of a data security breach, authorities say charges may be filed against a former employee of coal technology provider Smartmatic. While kidnapping and illegal detention charges have been filed against 8 suspects allegedly involved in the disappearance of 34 cockfight enthusiasts. Details after the break.
SMC, San Miguel Corporation. Bisag unsang industriya ang sudlan niini, tinguha sa SMC ang pag-uswag o paglambo sa mga Pilipino. Karon, gikan sa SMC, aniya na ang SMC Davao Cement. SMC Davao Cement. Gama sa Davao, para sa Mindanao. SMC Davao Cement. Ato ni Bay.
Welcome back to Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. The National Bureau of Investigation believes charges can be filed against a former employee of pole technology provider Smartmatic, which is facing accusations of a data security breach. The NBI says the contractual worker admitted he allowed a group to access his work laptop after he was supposedly offered training and money in exchange for Smartmatic data. Senator Amy Marcos accused Smartmatic of a data breach, earlier cited Facebook posts by a supposed hackers group called XSOX.
We are convinced that we could prosecute yung former employee ng Smartmatic for illegal access, Your Honor, and for obstruction of justice. We are not inclined to believe na may mga sensitive information po na na-exfiltrate from the side of COMELEC and Smartmatic. Hindi ko katulad noong 2016. Yung theory namin is this XSOX is trying to mimic the incident that took place in 2016.
The NBI says it aims to finish its probe on the claim by this month. Both the Commission on Elections and Smartmatic deny the supposed breach. Presidential contenders have different positions on issues hounding the country, but at least for one night, most of them were one in saying the government should go after billions of pesos in unpaid estate taxes of the Marcoses. Details from our senior correspondent, Anjo Alimario.
The two-hour COMELEC presidential debate was just about to wrap up when Manila Mayor Isko Moreno brought up the unpaid estate taxes of the Marcos family.
Yung isang pamilyang may utang ng 203 billion na estate tax, sisiguraduhin natin, sisingilin ko yun, kukunin ko yung 200 billion na yun, ibibigay ko sa magsasaka, ibibigay ko sa driver bilang ayuda.
Senator Panfilo Lacson agreed.
Train 1, Train 2, ang dami, 101 billion. Eh meron 203 billion nga na sisingilin lamang na andyan na, bakit ay singilin ng biyaya?
Even Vice President Leni Robredo chimed in.
Pag nasingil natin ito, hindi na natin kailangan tipirin yung ating mga kababayan.
Moreno also found an ally in Labor leader Leody de Guzman.
Pero sang-ayon nila ako pare.
The Bureau of Internal Revenue said it had recently sent a demand letter to the Marcoses to settle their estate taxes. An estate tax is a tax on the right of a deceased to transfer his or her estate to his or her lawful heirs. Marcos has recently brushed off questions on the matter, describing it as fake news. But the Supreme Court in 1997 already ruled with finality, ordering them to pay 23 billion pesos. That amount, according to some, has already grown to over 200 billion pesos. Marcos also insisted people are no longer interested in the issue and are more focused on finding jobs.
Kung ako po sa kanya, gusto niya magbigay ng trabaho, wala po siyang gagawin na mahirap. Bayaran lang po yung 203 billion.
For Robredo, it says a lot about Marcos's personality.
How unqualified he is for the presidency. Kasi na-imagine mo ba na somebody na aspiring to be president, napakalaki ng utang sa pamahalaan?
Marcos was again a no-show in the debate on Saturday, opting instead to campaign in Marikina. Anjo Alimario, CNN Philippines.
Presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos sees himself as a victim of misinformation. He rejects reports that claim he benefits from misinformation on social media. He also advises voters to research among legitimate sources, especially in the martial law regime under his father, the late President Ferdinand Marcos Sr.
Sinasabi ko, pero wag lang kayo makinig sa akin dahil may agenda din ako eh. Ama ko yan eh. Siyempre, kakampi ko siya. Mag-aral kayo. Mag-research kayo na mabuti. Ang daming libro dyan. Ang dami nasa internet na yun. Balikan ninyo yung mga dyaryo noon. Balikan ninyo yung mga nagsusulat noon. At tignan naman talaga ninyo kung ano yung talagang nangyari para makapag-aral kayo na mabuti.
Marcos's father seized newspapers, radio stations, and television networks on the first days of his dictatorship in 1972. Now, during last Saturday's COMELEC-sponsored debate, Vice President Leni Robredo said she's mostly the victim of misinformation and that Marcos benefits most from it. But she appealed to her supporters to stay grounded when talking to people who back other candidates.
Kahit napakarami na natin ngayong gabi, marami pa din ang hindi natin kasama. Kaya po, tara na! Ipanalo na natin ito!
Last Sunday, Robredo's supporters filled Emerald Avenue and nearby streets in Ortigas-centered Pasig City with pink in her biggest campaign rally yet. Pasig police say over 90,000 people attended the event. Organizers say the number was around 130,000. A vice presidential candidate wants tougher sanctions against survey frontrunners Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte for their non-appearance in COMELEC debates, while another aspirant calls for a grand coalition to defeat that tandem. Amor Santos has that story.
Where are you? Nasaan ka? Nasaan ang pera? Ibalik mo na ang pera.
On stage,
it's unfortunate that Sara is not coming to the debates.
And off stage, vice presidential candidates were up in arms over the absence of the Marcos-Duterte tandem in COMELEC's debates over the weekend. Former Akbayan Party List Representative Walden Bello wants tougher penalties against them.
Yung ginagawa ho niyong penalty, yung hindi sasama sa e-rally, my God, ang hina ho niyon. We need to get something from these people to penalize them, like a big, huge penalty, like 203 billion pesos.
But the poll body says in the absence of a law requiring candidates to attend, the debates will remain voluntary. Its Anbank, however, will discuss other possible sanctions.
Hindi natin pwedeng pilitin yung mga kandidato na ayaw sumama.
Before the debates even started, pro-life advocate Rizalito David already called for unity against the survey frontrunners. He says he's willing to withdraw from the vice presidential race and support the strongest contenders versus Marcos and Duterte, and his rivals should follow suit.
I don't mind supporting Senator Soto, no? And I don't mind supporting Leni Robredo.
But the other contenders won't budge, not even Soto.
I'm speechless. I wish to thank him for considering me as a possible alternative candidate. You must remember, yung mga lumalamang, ito sa atin lang, di ba, is factual. Yung mga lumalamang, by this time, 6 years ago, talo.
It's too early to make decisions of that sort, but clearly I'm out to win.
COMELEC's next presidential debate is set on April 3, followed by another back-to-back face-off on April 23 and 24. Amor Santos, CNN Philippines.
New developments into the probe on the disappearance of cockfight enthusiasts. Investigators have filed kidnapping and illegal detention charges against 8 suspects. A witness positively identified a gaming tycoon for his alleged abduction more than a year ago. Amor Santos returns.
Ang sabi po ay, kasi may mga tao na naman dito na pumasok na mga manchochope.
Tapos,
Ang sabi niya po, naka-loudspeaker po yung cellphone niya eh.
kilala mong boses ni Alugang.
Medyo malat po. Sige, paaminin niyo kung sino ang boss. Pag hindi niya inamin, patayin niyo na.
This witness claims that in a cockfight arena in Santa Cruz, Laguna in November 2020, gaming tycoon Atong Ang gave orders to hold him and his companions for panyonyope or cheating in online sabong. He said they were brought before Police Master Sergeant Michael Claveria of the Provincial Intelligence Branch. He said they were asked to choose, be framed for drug charges or be killed.
Ang sabi po niya sa amin, bakit si Boss Atong pa ang inyong ang inyong binangga? Hindi nyo ba alam, pader yun? Papatayin po daw kami, 5,000 isang ulo po. Eh syempre po, sa amin po, ay kaso na lang po, kaysa patayin po kami.
Both Claveria and Ang denied the allegations. The businessman said it's part of a conspiracy against him and that a competitor is behind it.
Simon Pineda, siguro maybe. Dahil sa power niya, sa pera niya, hawak niya presidente, hawak niya ang pulis. Wala akong magagawa ko, wala akong connection sa pulis eh.
Unang-una, hindi po ako licensee. At pangalawa po, kung conspiracy man kalaban kay Boss AA, magkaibigan naman po kami. Kaya malamang hindi ako kasama dun.
Ang maintained he only uses legal means to deal with issues, citing a time when he reported illegal e-sabong websites to the police. He said it was a colonel who suggested a more sinister way to handle the problem.
Ito si Colonel Rogart, sabi niya, boss, gusto mo dukutin na lang namin eh. Hindi ko alam kung nabibiro siya o ano. Hindi ko na po matanda na.
Authorities are looking into 8 cases regarding the disappearance of 34 cockfight enthusiasts from April last year to January 2022. Police have filed kidnapping and serious illegal detention complaints against 8 suspects and several John Does. During the Senate hearing, family members of e-sabong agent Ricardo Lasco implicated police officers who also denied their involvement.
Kahit ano po ang sabihin ng aming mga kasamang pulis na inaakusahan ngayon, we will continue filing the case because we believe that these witnesses are credible.
Amor Santos, CNN Philippines.
Coming up on News 94, and team is joining the PBA Governors Cup for the first time in nearly 20 years. And global pop superstar Ariana Grande gushes over a huge crowd in Pasig singing her hit Break Free. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines.
SMC, San Miguel Corporation. Bisag unsang industriya ang sudlan niini, tinguha sa SMC ang pag-uswag o paglambo sa mga Pilipino. Karon, gikan sa SMC, aniya na ang SMC Davao Cement. SMC Davao Cement. Gama sa Davao, para sa Mindanao. SMC Davao Cement. Ato ni Bay.
Welcome back to CNN Philippines. The PBA is set to welcome its first foreign guest team in 18 years next season. The Hong Kong Bay Area Dragons will play in the season-ending Governor's Cup. It represents Greater China with top free agents from mainland China, Hong Kong, Macau, and Chinese Taipei. The PBA Board of Governors gave the go signal in line with their partnership with the East Asia Super League. From a PBA entrance to an exit, the Alaska Aces bidding farewell to the league after quarterfinals loss to the NLEX Road Warriors 96-80 Saturday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Alaska has played 35 seasons, winning 14 championships. And pop star Ariana Grande and Phil-Am's social media star Bretman Rock became the talk of the internet because of posts related to Leni Robredo's presidential campaign. Grande shared 2 videos of Robredo's Pasig campaign rally when the crowd sang her song Break Free. The singer's caption reads, quote, "I could not believe this was real." Batman Rock revealing Robredo is his presidential bet of choice while reposting her closing statement in the recent COMELEC debate. The vlogger said, quote, "My president is a woman," unquote. Also trending, the 4-year wait for Big Bang fans will be over very soon. The veteran K-pop group announced it will release new music on April 5. Here's a look at the first poster for their comeback. Big Bang's agency has yet to announce if this is a single or a full album. And the Philippines is the second happiest country in Southeast Asia based on the 2022 World Happiness Report. It ranked 60 out of 146 nations, one spot up from last year's ranking of 61. Singapore topped the list for Southeast Asian countries at 27. Finland was number 1 globally for the 5th straight year. Data is based on factors like GDP per capita and perceptions of corruption. And that is it for now. Join me again on News.ph at 7 p.m. I'm Pia Ontiveros for Newsnight. We leave you with a look at a new way to watch movies on the go.
Hi Dixie, turn on the freestyle.
Samsung is breaking the boundaries of home entertainment. Introducing the Freestyle, Samsung's all-new portable smart projector.
So Mon, what inspired Samsung to come up with a freestyle, and can you tell us more about it?
Well, Sam, we at Samsung recognize that home entertainment shouldn't be bound to the four corners of your house. You should really have the flexibility to watch and enjoy wherever you are. And for the first time, we have a device that's truly personal, one that can be enjoyed with friends and loved ones. The Freestyle is our own new portable entertainment device. It's a projector, a smart TV, and a speaker all rolled into one. And with the Freestyle, you have the freedom to move around and a new way to share, connect, and express yourself.
This new and innovative product in the market is surprisingly simple. The Samsung Freestyle is a device anyone can enjoy.
How would you describe the typical user of the Freestyle?
The Freestyle user is really outgoing and creative. It will be appealing to those who want to access high-quality entertainment anytime, anywhere, on their own terms. Whether they want to stream a movie, their content on their smartphone, or play music at home or on the go.
Apart from its unique design, the Freestyle can project up to a 100-inch screen on walls, floors, tables, all with a single click.
What are the other exciting features of the Freestyle?
The Freestyle has a lot of exciting features, but I'd like to highlight on 3 key points. First, portability. With a compact design weighing less than a kilo, the Freestyle was built to offer new levels of functionality. You can even plug it to a power bank and take it anywhere, whether that's from your living room to the bedroom or outside the home, such as when you're camping. Second, instant setup. One of the challenges of a traditional projector is getting the perfect picture. With the Freestyle's auto keystone and autofocus feature, you can project from any angle on any surface and you will get a perfectly proportional image every time. With its 180-degree cradle, you can easily and instantly project from the wall to the ceiling. Third, cinematic experience. The Freestyle can project picture from 30 inches all the way up to 100 inches. And with its built-in speaker with 360-degree sound, it can fill the room with deep, high-quality bass. The Freestyle also has smart TV capabilities, so you can access your favorite streaming apps such as Netflix and HBO Go instantly. The Freestyle has fun and functional accessories, including a water-resistant travel case, skins that come in 3 different colors, a bulb socket, and a battery pack.
How can we get a hold of the Freestyle?
We are inviting everyone to pre-order the Freestyle at any Samsung authorized dealer stores nationwide and their online channels until April 17. Those who pre-order will get a free travel case for $3,999. The Freestyle retails at $54,999. We're really excited for everyone to experience the Freestyle.
With so many ways to stream content, your entertainment possibilities are endless. The Samsung Freestyle is now available for pre-order until April 17. I'm Sam Sidwani, CNN Philippines.
This program is brought to you by